Pretty near, Granny, but I wish you'd give up churning when you're mad. We've been getting a lot of splinters in the butter lately.
Well, you can blame Jethro for the state I'm in. I declare, Jed, that boy is turning into a first-class girl chaser.
Well, I always said, if you're going to do something, do it well.
That's it. Make a joke of it. What you ought to do is take him to the woodshed.
We ain't got a woodshed.
And they call this a mansion. He ought to do something. He's run out on his chores again today.
Well, Granny, he's likely just hiding. All you got to do is flush him out.
I say he ain't here. And I say he's where he is every day. Riding up and down Wilshire Boulevard on that truck, showing off to the girls.
He ain't showing off today. I just clipped his wings. I took the steering wheel.
Mark my words, Jed, that boy is headed for trouble. He's on the road to ruination.
Well, if he is, he's walking.
Don't say I didn't warn you. And it's you that give him the 3 keys to perdition.
3 keys to perdition?
Fine clothes, fancy car, and 50 cents a week. And it's you that'll reap the harvest when the seeds of temptation is trampled on by the little foxes. Because as the rod is spared, so is the twig bent. And then the dancers have got to pay for casting the first stone.
I don't know what she said, but she sure could stir up a camp meeting with it.
Boy, driving that thing without a steering wheel sure keeps a fella hustling. I pretty near run over that little old gal.
What little old gal?
Well, that one coming up the driveway yonder.
Who is she?
I don't know.
Howdy, ma'am.
Howdy. Is this here the Clampett place?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Jed Clampett, and this here is my nephew, Jethro Bodie.
Howdy.
Howdy. I reckon y'all don't remember me, do you?
Well, you look familiar, but I just can't place you.
You remember the Fetty family? Lived back over Possum Ridge?
Why, sure. Are you one of Jake Fetty's girls?
I'm Emmeline.
Well, bless my soul. Jethro, you recollect the Fetty girl?
I sure do. Why, I used to chuck rocks at them.
Jethro's growed up a lot since then.
So she.
Yeah, well, come on in. It's mighty pleasure to see you. Jethro, where's your manners? Emmeline's tired.
Oh, yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
Ready?
Jethro done got married.
Down.
I warned you, Jed. I told you this would happen if you let him run wild.
They just met.
Oh, it's worse than I thought. How could you marry a stranger?
We ain't married.
No.
This little girl is from back home. She just...
I'll bet you don't recognize her, do you?
Who don't? I never forget a face.
Granny, we ain't seen this family in some time. They used to...
Now, don't tell me. I'll get her place right off. Gertrude Suckmeyer. Isabel Gooch. Frida Boggs. Florence Twitty. F.C. Holt. Fanny Bell Nichols. Lily Holmes. Lucilla Childs.
Granny.
Now, don't tell me. Don't tell me I never forget a face.
I'll give you a little hint. Possum Ridge. Jake and Dora.
Of course. Dora Ridge. Dora Possum.
This is Jake and Dora Fetty's girl, Emmeline.
Why'd you have to tell me? I'd have got it. Honey.
Thank you, Granny.
Well, Jethro, let's get Emmeline saddled up in the spare room next to Ellie Mae.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of Ellie, put her down. I meant take her things up to the spare room.
Oh, now, wait. I just come by to make my handies. I don't aim to put my feet under your table.
Hey, looky here. A cuckoo clock.
Paul had me fetch this along to get me up mornings. He said the hotel might not have a rooster.
Oh, Emmeline, you're home, folks. We can't let you stay in a hotel.
Bus driver said that I might be able to get into the YWCA.
I wouldn't stay no place that had to be spelt in mixed company.
You're staying right here.
I sure don't want to be any bother.
Won't be no bother at all. I'll just water the soup.
Howdy.
Ellie Mae, you recognize this girl?
Now, don't waste your time, Jed. She ain't got my memory for faces. This is Emmeline Fetty from back home.
Oh, hi there, Emmeline.
Howdy, Ellie. My goodness, y'all sure wear short dresses out here.
Oh, this here's what you call a beach jacket.
Ellie, you're showing your skimpies.
This is a bathing suit.
A bathing suit?
I reckon you ain't never seen nothing like that before, have you?
I sure never. Back home, folks still takes a bath with nothing on.
Well, Ellie Mae explained it to you. Ellie, suppose you take Emmeline up and show her that spare room next to yours and see if she's made comfortable.
Sure will, Paul. Come on, Emmeline. Later on, we'll go swimming in a cement pond.
Jed, how come Jake and Dora didn't write us their daughter was coming to California?
Could be because they can't write.
Why'd you come?
Could be because they sent her.
What for?
Well, Granny, when you got as many young'uns as the Fetties, you don't need too big a reason for getting shed of one.
He sure had a house full, didn't he?
It is for a fact. You throw a rock on their roof, it looked like school was letting out.
You mean this whole great big room is just for me?
Well, that's right, Emmeline.
Land sakes. Do I get that bed all to myself?
All to yourself. And you don't have to share it with no sisters.
Sure is gonna feel funny, sleeping long ways.
This here's for your clothes. It's got cedar drawers in it.
Cedar drawers? Don't you get splinters wearing those?
These kind of drawers.
Mom made these for me before I left home. They still got a little flour in them.
Listen here, Emmeline. I got a whole closet full of city clothes that folks has given me. Well, I'll go and fetch you in a mess of them. You can take your pick.
I declare, y'all so good to me, it's just making my head spin. I think I better lay down for a spell. What's that thing?
Oh, that there's a telephone. Why, you can talk to folks that lives miles away from here on that.
What'll they think of next?
Well, I'll be back directly, Emmeline.
Bye, Ellie. Colonel, Rita. Okay, I'm in Fort Knox. Yeah, they fell for it. Hook, line, and spare room. Great job of research on that Fetty family. I thought there was something you dreamed up. Don't worry. I got enough photographs and tape recordings to shake Jed Clampett loose from a cool million.
Granny, I got you a fine mess of dandelion green.
Oh, thank you, Jed. Would you mind wrenching them for me?
What else you fixing to have?
Whole cake, sow belly, and hand-slung chitlins.
Oh, you do put it on for company, don't you?
Sorry for Emmeline, Jed. Dora Fetty never set much of a table.
Yes, I recollect that family lived mostly on hope and hedge apples.
Jed, did it ever strike you that Emmeline was uncommon pretty for a Fetty?
Well, you would have to call her the pick of the litter.
I declare the rest of them must have took homely pills.
Yeah, you could throw them Fetties in the creek and skim ugly for 2 weeks.
Granny, I'll hold your taters, milk the goat, split the kindling, and whitewash the chicken roost.
Good boy. Remember, idle hands gathers no moss, and a penny saved is worth 2 in the bush.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Jed, tell me, is that Emmeline Fetty going to be staying with us for a spell?
Well, I don't know yet. Why?
Well, do you aim to let her go running around with a slick, sophisticated Hollywood playboy?
Not if I can help it.
Oh, shucks.
You?
Oh, she's going to be expecting some thrills.
Uh-huh.
Emmeline's just a pining and hunting to go swimming, but she don't want to wear no bathing suit.
What?
Go put the steering wheel on the truck.
Well, I already done that.
Well, then drive it down to the station and fill it with gas.
Well, I done that, too.
Then drive it around till it needs doing again and then do it again.
But Uncle Jed, that ain't...
Oh, boy.
Jed, it's all got gas.
Ellie Mae, You give Emmeline one of your bathing suits and explain to her...
Well, I done give her one of my bathing suits, Pa, but she's scared you won't like her showing her limbs.
Well, I gotta admit, it did jolt me some when we first come out here, but seems all the young'uns do it, so tell her it's all right.
Well, I did, Pa, but she says she ain't gonna budge out of her room until you come up and tell her it's fitting.
Well, that's the way it has to be.
Who is it?
It's me, Jed Clampett. I just want to say it's all right for you to go swimming in your swimming suit. See you downstairs.
Just wait a minute. Don't go away. Oh, Mr. Clampett, it's you.
Yes, ma'am.
Gracious, and I'm standing here with my bare limbs showing. Why, I'm so ashamed.
Well, no call for you to feel ashamed, Emmeline. Things is different out here than it is back home.
Please let me go to the YWCA.
Oh, you're staying right here.
Oh, don't do that, Mr. Clampett.
What? Oh, don't do what?
Don't shut the door.
All right, leave it open.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, I trust you. Honest, I do. You remind me so much of my daddy.
Well, that's funny. He wasn't no more than 5 feet tall.
Yeah. Why, he wouldn't have come up any more back here on you.
Miss Emmeline, I think that clock of yours is busted. I think I'll take it downstairs and fix it.
Oh, don't do that, Mr. Clampett. It's all right.
But that little bird keeps jumping out and cuckooing all the time.
Well, maybe it's the mating season.
Miss Emmeline, I think you better forget about swimming and have yourself a little rest.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're the nicest man, Mr. Clampett.
There it goes again. Miss Emmeline, I think you and that clock is both wound up too tight.
Jed, what's taking you so long?
Well, it's the mating season for cuckoo.
What?
Well, you see, that little bird kept jumping out of the clock, and Miss Emmeline said, never mind. Anyway, she ain't going swimming.
Oh, yes, I am.
Well, I thought you was all tuckered out.
Not anymore. I feel like $1 million. Colonel, Rita. Listen, you clown. Why didn't you tell me my father was 5 feet tall? Oh, I covered for it all right. And I've got some great films and tape. Okay, I'll meet you at the camera store at 2 o'clock.
Emmeline, you out here?
I've gotta go. King Kong is stalking the set.
Hey, what you doing?
Jethro, there's a bee in this gourd, and it's just a buzzing to beat the band.
Well, that ain't no gourd.
Well, it's got a vine on it.
Here's our telephone, you poor dumb country girl.
Sorry.
Oh, shucks. No, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. You won't believe this, but 4 years ago when we came here, well, I was just as big a hick as you are.
Oh, go on.
Well, yeah, it's the truth. Well, I was a regular hayseed.
You sure have changed.
Well, I reckon it's living so close to Hollywood, some of that movie star stuff just rubbed off on me.
Yeah, you're a regular Paul Newman.
Well, who's he?
Oh, he's just a feller. I sure would like to get to see Hollywood.
Well, after we have victuals, well, I'll drive you into town.
Oh, you'd be ashamed to be seen with a tacky-looking old country girl like me.
Well, heck, you ain't no more tacky-looking than Ellie Mae. In fact, you look pretty good coming from such an ugly family.
Turn my head to that kind of sweet talk.
Gotta expect a smooth line from a sophisticated playboy like me, huh?
Can we get to town by 2 o'clock? Well, I want to get back here in time for my chores.
Well, I'll check the time. Oh, let's see.
Land sakes, look at that watch.
You noticed it, huh? My Uncle Jed gave it to me. Let me pick it out myself.
It's a doozy.
See that little mouse with them short breeches and them yellow gloves? Well, his hands tell the time.
What time is it now?
I don't know. One of the hands fell off.
Excuse me, Chief. There's a Colonel Foxhall to see you.
Has he got an appointment?
No, but he says it concerns $1 million.
He's got an appointment.
Colonel.
Thank you, my dear.
Colonel Foxhall?
Colonel Gaylord Meriwether Foxhall, at your service, sir.
My pleasure. Sit down.
Thank you.
Well, I understand this concerns $1 million.
Yes, I believe I am conservative in valuing the contents of this portmanteau at $1 million cash.
Miss Hathaway, bring in a deposit slip.
Oh, but I'm not depositing. I am withdrawing.
What do you mean withdrawing? How can you withdraw if you haven't got any money in the bank?
Yes, sir, but I believe Mr. Clampett has a great deal of money in your bank. And it's $1 million of his that I plan to withdraw.
You a friend of Jed Clampett?
I never met the gentleman.
Miss Hathaway, what's the idea of letting this southern fried phony in my office?
He had an appointment.
You said he had $1 million. Now throw him out.
Mr. Drysdale, before you make any rash decisions, what does this look like to you?
Like a wild old man after a sweet young girl.
Exactly. Would you care to identify that wild old man?
That's Jed Clampett.
Possible. Yes.
Here are some others you might care to peruse. They tell the sordid tale of a sweet, innocent country girl who was lured into the mansion of a Beverly Hills millionaire. Once inside, this frightened maiden pleaded to be allowed the sanctuary of the YWCA. But her pleas fell on deaf and decadent ears.
Now look, I don't.
Thereupon, as these pictures so clearly illustrate, the sanctity of her boudoir was brazenly invaded by this backwoods Bluebeard.
Mr. Clampett would not.
But Mr. Clampett did, my dear, and the scars upon the soul of this sweet, simple maiden can be erased only by time. Time and $1 million. Cash.
This is out-and-out extortion, the old Badger game. I'm going to call the police.
Mr. Drysdale, you do lack imagination. I believe, Mr. Clampett, you should be an officer in your bank.
Well, Chief, you did make him vice president for a day.
So,
Let's look at tomorrow morning's headlines.
Commerce Bank officer in love this scandal.
Well, then that's just a dummy newspaper.
True. The real one will be profusely illustrated by these fascinating photographs.
Wrong number.
Oh, here you are, Uncle Jed. Can we have us that man-to-man talk?
Sure, sit down. Well, what do you want to talk about?
Emmeline Fetty. Can her and me get married?
Married?
Yeah, you see, she is crazy mad, desperate in love with me.
It's kind of sudden, ain't it?
I reckon. But you gotta remember, she's just a plain dumb old country girl. She ain't never seen nobody like me before. Said so herself.
When did all this come about?
When I was driving her into town and back. I didn't aim for it to happen. I tried to keep the lid clamped down on my charm, but something must have slopped over.
And now she's crazy mad in love with you, huh?
Is she ever? Why, all the way home, she kept trying to get me to drive to some out-of-the-way place where we could be alone.
No fooling.
Yeah, kept asking me to get lost.
Boy, I don't believe I'd rush you into anything.
But Jed, she needs a husband. Well, that's an awful dumb girl. You know that cuckoo clock that needed fixing?
Yeah?
She took it to a camera store.
You sure you want to marry a girl that dumb?
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Jed. I'm smart enough for both of us. You should have seen her face when I told her that I graduated 6th grade.
Well, that would carry weight with the Fetties. It never was long on learning.
I think it was my cipher that really put a match to her heart and set her flaming with desire.
You ciphered for her, did you?
Uncle Jed, when I got to the multiplication table at 12, it like it drove her crazy. She commenced moaning, gasping for breath, and her eyes rolled back in her head.
Good thing you didn't cipher no gazintas. She might have married you then and there.
I'll go do something for her right now. Emmeline! Hey, Emmeline!
Wait a minute, boy. We're just... Jethro, come back.
Emmeline! Oh, here you are. Hey, listen to this. A 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 10 twice.
I still say the Clampetts are innocent. And Emmeline is just a Jezebel, pruded by this...
Help! Help!
Oh, howdy, Miss Jane.
Howdy, Miss Jane. Jethro, come back here. Stop chasing her. Put her down. She don't belong to you yet.
Oh, yes, she does.
Oh, she knows. Go on in, folks. Put her down, Jethro.
Shock him. Shock him. Why, they're fighting over her like beasts. I'm not so sure we should settle for $1 million.
What do you think, Granny?
Oh, I like this one, Jed.
They're all good pictures. What are you asking for these, Colonel Foxhole?
Foxhall, sir. I'm asking $1 million.
$1 million?
Well, I ain't bought many pictures, but that does seem a mite steep.
Mr. Clampett, if you don't need his price, these pictures will appear on the front page of tomorrow's newspaper.
Well, there's an idea, Granny. Let's wait till tomorrow and cut them out of the paper.
Good thinking, Jed. Excuse me, everybody. I got a brace of possum in the oven.
I hope you'll stay to supper, Colonel. Granny's possum is finger-licking good.
Mr. Clampett, I find your levity and jocularity most inappropriate to the solemn occasion which has brought us together here, and I will tolerate no further sham or delay while this sweet, innocent girl suffers the pangs of purloined probity.
Well, doggy. Put him with Granny, and a pair of them would tear a camp meeting wide open.
What happened to Emmeline? Oh, there you are. 5 goes into 15 3 times, 5 goes into 24.
Jethro, please.
Oh, it drives you wild, too, huh, Miss Jane? Hey, what are these pictures? Hey, Uncle Jed, you're kissing my girl.
Jethro.
No wonder you sent me out of the house this morning. Why, you was aiming to steal my sweetie.
Jethro.
Keep talking, boy. I'm recording every word.
Well, I'm sorry, Uncle Jed, but we's gonna have to fight us a duel.
Now, look, boy.
I'll be back quick as I can find a glove to slap you with.
Mr. Clampett, I urge you to make some sort of settlement.
Decency demands it, sir. And I say to you, if satisfaction is not...
Colonel, come down off your stump. I aim to do the right thing.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Miss Emmeline and me will be married right off. Roll to the Hills demands it. I done seen her in her skimpies and flimsies. We leave for Bug Tussle tonight. Honeymoon in Snyder's Swamp. What? And we move into that little shack back to Possum Ridge with your ma and pa and 17 sisters.
You gotta be out of your skull.
Now, my dear.
Drop dead. I'm blowing this caper.
Hey, Emmeline, I couldn't find a glove to swap my Uncle Jed with, but will you marry me without a duel?
Get lost.
Hot dog! Uncle Jed, she still loves me!